Right. Well, we're laughing because it's been such a long time since we saw you guys. I mean,
we never saw them.
Well, we never also heard them.
Or heard them.
Yeah, we've never even...
Since you guys heard us.
Yeah, it's been such a long time since you heard us. We are very sorry about that.
Life happens. Life happens. It's happening all the time. When will it stop? I mean, no, I don't want it to stop. But at the same time, can it take a pause?
I don't want it to stop. Well, yeah.
Anyway, so what's our theme for the day, Pugly?
Well, first off, welcome to Secondhand Confessions. Forgot to mention that part.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, we're rusty, I guess.
Yeah, we're a little bit out of our depth here.
Not out of our depth, but out of practice.
Out of practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for the corrections. I really appreciate that.
I love correcting an first language English speaker on their grammar. It gives me it's like a power.
It gives you such joy, doesn't it?
It gives me a lot of joy. It makes me feel powerful. I'm like, bitch, you colonized me.
I personally did not.
You personally did not, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a little, I kind of have an ego trip.
Well, actually, on the topic, I do want to mention that one of my ancestors was Martin Van Buren, the 8th president of the United States, and he was anti-slavery before it was cool. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Can you put an applause clip here?
Yeah. So,
we
yay
love
me.
you, Martin. Yay you. That's HPI. What is it called? PHI?
He's also, that's some private information there, but also he is one of the ugliest presidents of the United States. So,
woo!
Yay that.
Yeah.
I love my genetics.
Didn't he have brown eyes?
Hell if I know. His pictures were all black and white.
You can still find that out. But like, I remember wasn't I asking you recently, like, how many presidents have we had? 36? No, 45.
40 something.
40, 47?
47.
47.
Let's edit that out.
I don't know my U.S. history, but how many of the 40 whatever U.S. presidents have had blue eyes? And the number was like surprisingly high.
Really?
It was like
compared
36.
to the general population?
It was like 36.
Oh my God.
Literally.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
well, it doesn't surprise because they are all white, except for one.
I know, but that's crazy. Like 36 out of 40 whatever is not even how many people have blue eyes in their life in America. Yeah. Like out of the white people, even just the white people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's disgusting. I'm very anti-blue eye.
Okay. Brown eye supremacy.
I do love people with brown eyes.
Yes, I think brown eyes are actually like some of the most beautiful eyes. Like,
yeah.
I wish it was I wish people just like loved eyes.
Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. I
love eyes.
Hashtag all eyes matter. No, edit that out. Or maybe not. I don't know.
I like it. I'm going to keep it. Yeah. But all eyes do matter.
Yeah, of course.
Anyways, the theme for today, kind of in keeping with the fact that we're crossing the line into recording again, is crossing the line.
What line are we crossing?
We're crossing a few lines.
Like
in this
boundaries?
first story, do you want to know what line we're crossing?
What?
It says, mother-in-law, 56 female, deliberately infected my 27 female daughter, who's 1, with chickenpox. I'm livid. Wow. She doesn't think it's a big deal.
Wow. Okay, as soon as I hear mother-in-law in the title of one of these Reddit posts, I'm like, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Why are mothers-in-law like that? Anyone have an answer for us out there? Maybe that can be our question for the
audience.
For the audience this time, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer?
Me, personally?
Pugly, yeah.
Mothers-in-law, I think, are just too attached to their, child.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're, like, overprotective maybe for that reason.
Yeah. So a message to all the mothers-in-law out there, calm down.
Calm down, bitches.
Whoa.
Wow, we're getting into some really...
misogyny, okay. Okay.
No, I call men and women equally bitches.
Yeah, but we're talking about mothers-in-law. We're not talking about fathers-in-law. Okay, here we go. Fathers-in-law, maybe step up to the plate.
Step
every now
up.
and then. Like,
bitches.
Why are you making... Why are you making the mothers-in-law do all the stupid, like, bad cop work? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Precisely.
Yeah. So her mother-in-law infected her daughter with chickenpox. I guess this is one of those chickenpox party kind of things, which has been disproven.
Chickenpox party.
Like they would, well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a party, but they would, when one of the kids would have chickenpox, like they would bring them all together so they would all get infected. This was like probably your parents' time.
Oh.
You don't remember? I mean, you don't.
I don't remember. Yeah.
You weren't there, but you never heard of this?
No.
No.
Was Martin Van Buren part of this chickenpox party?
He probably started it.
He probably did not. He was a stand-up man.
He's an almond mom for sure.
Okay. Don't downgrade my ancestors like this.
Are you talking shit about almond moms?
No comment.
Okay, so read us the story, Puggy.
Yeah, this was posted in December of 2015.
Okay.
She says, I can hardly type this out because thinking about it makes me so angry. Earlier this year, my husband, who's 31, and I, 27, decided to spend Christmas with his family for the first time since my daughter was born last September. Since they live 12 hours away, we decided to stay for a few weeks before Christmas so they could spend loads of time with Annie, who's 13 months old. We arrived early like we planned, and everything was great. I've had a few disagreements with my mother-in-law, Trish, who's 56, in the past over my parenting style. She criticized me for using disposable diapers, buying baby food from the supermarket, and not raising Annie as an organic baby. But everything seemed great. After a day or two settling in, my husband and I decided to pick up a few gifts from a mall around an hour away before the last-minute rush kicked in. My father-in-law, who's 60, tagged along. Trish said she was happy to take care of Annie. We got back a few hours later, and Annie was down for a nap on a blanket I didn't recognize. Trish said one of her friends dropped by and gave it as an early Christmas gift. It looked pretty old/worn, but I figured one of her hippie friends was just recycling it. The next 2 weeks were fine, aside from Trish making a point to prepare meals for Annie from scratch. I mentioned this to my husband, and he said to just let her be. Annie mostly mushed the food Trish gave her with her hands and threw the bowls on the floor, as she's been doing at the moment. Trish said it would take her a while to get used to nutritious meals. I was getting sick of her meddling, but it was only for a few weeks, so for the sake of the holidays, I let it slide. The day after Christmas, Annie was really unsettled and wouldn't stop fidgeting and crying. I took her temperature and she had a fever, so I kept an eye on her for the next few days, and it thankfully started to go down. This morning, she started to get a rash and blisters on her arms and legs, and I freaked out. I was packing a bag to drive to see a doctor when Trish asked where I was going. I told her Annie had a rash, and I was taking her to see a doctor. She got a weird, smug smile on her face and told me there was nothing to worry about. When I asked her what she was talking about, she said without even looking at Annie that what she had was just chickenpox. I asked her how she could possibly know that, and she casually admitted that one of her friend's grandkids had chickenpox a few weeks ago, so she asked them to wipe a blanket over the child's arms, legs, and face and bring it to her house. At this point, I couldn't believe what I was hearing, so I asked if that blanket was the gift? The gift!
Thank you for the gift.
The gift that Annie was sleeping on. She said it was. I lost my shit. To be honest, I don't really remember what I said because I was up most of the night for 2 days checking on Annie. I just unleashed on Trish, asking what the fuck was wrong with her. My husband and father-in-law came to try to calm things down, and Trish dug in her heels and said chickenpox was the best and most natural thing for Annie to build up her immunity. I already have a vaccination schedule in place with my pediatrician, and she was booked in to get immunized for chickenpox at 18 months. We drove to see the doctor, and he confirmed she had it. He said I'll have to cut Annie's nails short and might have to tape socks on her hands while she sleeps because kids so young can scratch until they bleed, and that will leave scars. On the drive back, my husband started making excuses for Trish, that she was only doing what she thought was best. I couldn't believe he was defending her, and we fought most of the way home until I told him to stop talking to me. Annie's been scratching like crazy, and I just had to tape socks over her hands. Trish tried to talk to me when we got back, and I told her to get out of my sight. We were meant to stay until Wednesday, but I just finished packing up our stuff so we can leave first thing in the morning. I'm so angry I can't even think. Whenever I hear Trish moving around in the kitchen, my heart starts beating faster and I feel like going out there and grabbing her by the hair. I don't ever want to see her again or let my daughter see her again. What can I say to make her and my husband realize the enormity of what she's done? I don't think I can speak coherently to their faces until Annie gets better.
Woof.
Yeah.
Crazy. She really is an almond mom.
True.
Yeah. Damn. I think she should take this very seriously. Not that, like, baby's not gonna die, she'll be fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been 10 years, hopefully she's still fine. But I think if you're in this kind of situation, you need to draw a boundary and enforce it.
And what boundary would that be?
I would say you're not allowed to see my child unless you own up to what you did and why it was wrong. And we both want her to have a good immune system, and that's why I want to vaccinate her. She's my child. You're not allowed to just do with her as you please.
Yeah.
And I would want my husband to back me up.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's the part that really frustrates me, is the fact that he's, like, not taking her side.
Yeah. Like, hello. She literally, I mean, it doesn't matter if it was something even good. Like, if she was teaching her something or
like
giving
the alphabet early.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Even
to a 1-year-old?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But, like, even if it's something good, you're just their grandparent. You are not responsible for this kid. You are responsible that they're healthy. You know, you just take care of them when you're designated as their caretaker. But that's it. You're not allowed to make decisions for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that a lot of people don't get. And as, like, her spouse, I think, of course, it's a tough situation to be between your mother and your partner. It's tough because you don't want to upset either of them, but you should also be stressed out like that. This is your own child and your mom is just deciding what to do with her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not upset? I don't understand. I would get mad if my mom did that. You know, he's like, oh, don't get mad at her. Why are you mad at her? Like, why are you just okay with this?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Ew.
Throw him out.
Are you recommending divorce again? What is this, like, 50th time?
Well, Deleted said, your husband better step up and act like a father and stop acting like a son.
Ooh. I love misandry.
Yeah, no comment.
Yeah, what would you say, Pugly?
To which part?
To this woman who's posting.
I honestly would say if he can't get in your corner, like, that's a problem. That's a serious problem that needs to be taken care of immediately, because he's supposed to be, like, married to you, not his mom.
Absolutely. But we can't recommend divorce. I don't think this is big enough for divorce. So
I think it might be, because it could lead to, like, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like we're too quick to recommend divorce on this
I'm not
show.
recommending divorce. I'm recommending that she speak with him and convince him of her side. If not, then divorce.
No, I don't agree. Because if you keep, like this is someone she really loves, obviously enough to have a life with, have a child with, and she wants to have forever with, right? If you're going to use divorce as your, like, ultimatum or as your, like, consequence every time something happens, it's not.
No, you do it once and then hopefully the divorce goes through and it's done.
Oh.
You don't repeatedly divorce the same person.
I feel like there should be a way that they can fix this. Obviously, I'm putting all the responsibility on her shoulders, and that's not fair.
Well, the ball is in his court to change.
Yeah, but what other consequence can she give him that's not divorce?
He can't see the baby.
Ooh, she's not allowed to do that. It's his baby.
Well, custody arrangement with the divorce.
Oh my God. Pugly, give me another consequence that's a little bit less.
What other take away his car? Take away his video games?
Take away what? He's not her kid.
Exactly. So there are no other consequences. It's divorce or nothing.
No, like as a partner, like, let's say you are with someone right now. You're long-term partners. You live together. You don't have a kid. But this person keeps doing something that makes you mad.
Mm-hmm.
What are some consequences that you can be like, well, if you don't do this, then I'm going to do this? That are healthy.
What's an example? What is the fight?
Like, let's say your partner never washes the dishes. And, like, that's not enough for you to, like, oh my God, Pugly.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for perfection.
And that's why we're both still looking.
I mean, hopefully you're in a healthy relationship where you can, like, communicate with the person and have a conversation.
Yeah, like, okay, it really upsets me that you never wash the dishes. And, like, I just feel like, what's the point if you're not showing up to the relationship. But okay, if they don't respect that, then
divorce.
Then divorce.
That's where it goes. I mean, I'm sorry, but like you can't parent.
Or maybe you can be like, well, if you want me to always wash the dishes, then you have to always clean the whole house.
Very balanced relationship.
I mean, is there some kind of thing comparable thing like that in this situation? That's my question. That's not divorce.
I don't know, because it really does rely on him being a faithful not faithful, a good partner to her, to like own up to his mistake and take a different course of action.
I think, like, for me, the consequence is, like, if you guys don't sort this out, then I'm not allowing my daughter to come to this house again.
Oh, that's why I said take away the baby.
Yeah, she's doing that. Obviously, she's doing that. But, like, we're never spending another holiday here again. Mm-hmm. That's very much within her right to do. Yeah. Because, like you said, a line was crossed.
A line was crossed. Mm-hmm. Another commenter said, "There's nothing you can say. I'd cut her privileges forever. Forever. She wouldn't be alone with my kid until that kid was late teens. And you need to lay it out for your husband. His baby is suffering because his mother is a dumbass. How can she be okay with her tiny granddaughter having socks taped on her hands and a fever and potential scarring? What the fuck is wrong with this woman? And you need to lay it out for your husband. He supports you in this, or you separate."
Period. No, but there were some steps in between, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
Like, sometimes we don't have so much nuance on this pod.
Well, there was a follow-up a couple months later, in February of 2016.
Oh, shit. I hope it's good.
Yeah. She said, "Thank you to everyone for your comments, inbox messages, and advice after my original post. I read all the comments and messages, and they genuinely helped, especially the home remedies on how to stop itching. On to the update. I didn't think it would be possible, but things got worse."
Oh, no. I literally said, I hope things got better.
What do you think happened?
They got a divorce.
You want to find out? Or do you want to just leave it there?
I kind of don't want to, but let's keep going.
Okay. I got up first thing the next morning and started packing our stuff into the car. Once I opened it up, I kept the keys in my pocket since I was going in and out. Usually we use Jack's set and leave mine in my bag. While I was packing, he sat in the kitchen with Trish and my father-in-law, who's 60, and chatted and had coffee like nothing was wrong. Annie was mercifully still asleep, so I just gently belted her in and closed her door when Jack came out and asked if I had everything. I said we were good to go as soon as he was. He said okay, and calmly took out his key set and centrally locked the car, locking Annie in. I asked him what the hell he was doing, and he said he wouldn't be leaving until I apologized to Trish. I think I was stunned into silence because he then took the chance to rehash what he said the previous day, that Trish thought she was doing what was best, that, quote-unquote, chickenpox doesn't kill you, and that I was, quote-unquote, making a bigger deal out of this than I needed to, and making Trish feel bad. Yes, making her feel bad. All the comments from my last post were swirling around in my head, and I told him he needs to stop being a son and start being a father.
Ooh, she used it.
Yup. He screwed up his face and said he would always be Trish's son, and that was the point. That nobody should speak to his mother the way I had the day before, and I needed to apologize to clear the air. I felt like I had entered some kind of weird Twilight Zone where I had accidentally married a 9-year-old instead of an adult man, so I just asked him to open the car so we could leave. He repeatedly refused, then walked back inside and said he would see me in there when I was acting more reasonable.
He just left the baby in there?
Apparently.
What a dick.
I know. You can probably guess what happened next. I'd left my bag on the passenger seat, so he probably assumed my keys were in there. Nope. I waited 30 seconds, then just hopped into the car and drove away. My phone blew up with 1 million calls from him, Trish, and my father-in-law. Eventually, my mom and dad and my sister Jess, who I'm super close with, called as well. I'd briefly texted Jess about what was happening the day before, but she was stunned to get the full blow-by-blow. By the time I was on the open road, I asked her to phone Jack and tell him he could walk home for all I care. Once she heard my side of the story, and not Jack's, which was apparently that I had gone crazy, frightened Trish, snatched Annie, and sped away, she calmed way down. Mom, Dad, and Jess offered to start driving and meet me halfway so I could switch with one of them and wouldn't have to drive the full 12 hours by myself in one day.
12 hours?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought it was just 1 hour. Oh my God.
Yeah. I was so grateful to see them. I pretty much broke down in a truck stop parking lot while I blubbered that I loved them. They all took turns driving while I had a rest. It was super reassuring to talk it over and hear that Trish and Jack are the unreasonable ones. Once we got back, I stayed at my parents' overnight, and they said I could stay as long as I needed. The next few days were fairly tense. I was up most of the night making sure Annie didn't scratch, which she did anyway, somehow, and it seemed like she just cried and cried and cried until she was exhausted. She has 5 scars on her face and a few others on her arms from scratching.
Aww.
I know appearances shouldn't matter, but I'm so angry her skin is marked for life now over some stupid bullshit. This whole thing is just something I never expected to happen. I answered one of Jack's calls only to have him start a rant that he didn't recognize this person I had become, so I hung up on him. He was due to come back for the start of the work year, which I wasn't looking forward to, but I figured we could make it work as long as Trish was 12 hours away. Then at like 11 p.m. one night, I got a very short and formal text from father-in-law via Jack's phone saying Trish had come down with shingles and was in the emergency room.
Oh my
God. That Jack was staying there to care for her and that he would work from their house remotely once the year started back up. Jack's been there for the past few weeks, tending to Mama's every whim. I'm sure she's put on an Oscar-worthy performance of having one foot in the grave. And according to Google, it should be any day now that her painful, crusty pustules go gently into that sweet night. A few weeks ago, I was honestly so tired and overwhelmed and in disbelief that I didn't know what to do. Now that I'm back at home with people who actually care about me, I think I'm starting to realize how lucky I am to see the weird relationship with his mommy this early on. The fact that he cares more about Trish than his own daughter speaks volumes. When he eventually comes back, I think we'll have to have a serious talk about our future together.
Oh my God. Once a mama's boy, always a mama's boy.
Yep, we've said it before. We'll say it again.
Yeah.
Into eternity.
Into eternity.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think she actually had shingles? I'm sure she did, right?
Isn't it related to chickenpox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same virus. Well, but it's reactivated. So like what a poetic justice that is. Because it wasn't actually the new chickenpox that she gave the baby that made her sick.
Mm-hmm.
It was her own chickenpox that she had many years before.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Look at God.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Look at him or her or them.
Look at God.
Yeah. Just look.
Just look at him.
It's kind of funny because just like our listeners, we can't see or hear God.
So are our listeners God?
Maybe so.
Well, God is always listening, right?
I think God is the number one listener of this podcast.
Thank you, God, for all the support.
We love you, God.
Please always bless us and never harm us.
Yes, don't haunt us either.
Haunt?
Yeah.
God isn't a ghost.
Oh, okay. You don't know what God is or isn't?
Well, not a ghost.
God could be a ghost if they wanted to be.
Yeah, I'm sure. But like, who would... Oh, the Holy Ghost. That's right.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
You forgot about the Trinity.
I don't believe in the Trinity, so. Do you believe in the Trinity?
I'm a little impartial.
So no.
I mean, I don't have like solid beliefs in anything, I guess.
I know, but like specifically the Trinity, like that there's a ghost and there... What's the other one? There's God, there's a ghost, and there's the Son.
Mm-hmm. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Is that something that
resonates with me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you hear that, God?
Especially since they're all men.
Yeah. Well, the ghost never. No one.
Well, the ghost, I guess, maybe not, but the other two,
ghost assigned female.
The Father and the Son. Where's the daughter?
Yeah. Where's the
mother? The Queen?
Queen. Queen.
Yeah, she could be in there too. Or the princess.
Oh, princess. Okay. Okay.
Anyway, back to the story.
We're ranting. Where were we?
She took off.
Yeah. Wow, what a child that she married. It's again, I've probably said this on every single episode we've ever done. This is the first inkling you've had that your husband is a child?
It was funny because she was like, I'm so glad that I discovered this so early on. And I'm like, you're married. What does that...
You had a baby.
Yeah.
What?
You're married with child. What?
With a child.
Yeah. Well, Skullbearer said, you only get shingles if you've had chickenpox. The new vaccine prevents it. Rather ironic. I'd get divorce papers served before Mummy Dearest decides your daughter should become a breatharian or join Scientology.
Wow. So divorce again.
It seems like the Reddit community is on my side.
I just need more info, I guess. Like, divorce is not easy.
We need to know a little more about him. Like, what is making this worthwhile for you?
Yeah. Like, I get having pride about your family and, like, your mom and, like, your dad. Like, those are the people who raised you. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't get is the, like, total abandonment of your child and your wife. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
So why is he willing to do that? Our parents are like our gods, right? Like they're the ones who taught us how the world works. And everything they say, like we feel like it's like sacred almost. You have a look on your face. Maybe you've transgressed past that. Good. Transgressed?
No, that's not the right
word. This is how I am in my therapy sessions. I'm always like, is that the right word?
I do that
And he's like, no. He's like, you mean blah, blah, blah.
It's good to have a well-read therapist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or one who can speak English.
Yeah. It's ironic because we started on this note where you were, I think, challenging me a bit on my English speaking skills.
I got to break my own ego.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how it works. Ego death.
Yeah.
But I don't have to take drugs for it.
Through therapy.
Through reflection. Anyway, what were we saying?
Something about him.
Why is he willing to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
I don't know where you're going with it.
I was saying that our parents kind of are like our gods. Like they teach us how the world works. And so like they taught us how the world works. And so like everything they say goes in line with that. And then like people come into our lives that don't necessarily think the same way as us or our parents. And we're like, that's whack. Mm-hmm. You know, so like that I can see why there's some extra loyalty to his parents.
But at the same time, like you chose to marry your wife.
Yeah.
Like that was a chosen relationship, not a forced one.
That's the difference I think that a lot of people don't like, you know, reflect on is like, that's the reason why your first loyalty should be to your new family is because you chose this family. And like when you choose something, you really have to you have to work towards it. Obviously, like your parents, I mean, it takes a lot to like not have a relationship with your parents, right? It's like we're bound together no matter what. And that's not just by blood, but just, you know, they chose you. That's the thing. They chose you. So they're bound to you no matter what. Now you're choosing this new family. You're bound to them no matter what, but he's not seeing that. He's not recognizing that. And that's very immature.
Very.
Yeah. It's very mama's boy. I'm over him. Yeah, divorce him.
Well, Tina Pesto said he locked your daughter in the car. Holy shit. And assumed you wouldn't be able to get her out? I mean, that was why he locked her in. To threaten you. Holy shit. Good on you for dipping out of there after that. Whatever happens with your marriage moving forward, you seem to have your parenting priorities straight. Good luck, and I hope Annie feels better soon. And Bugs Doing Things responded, yeah, this. He locked a sick baby in the car. Kudos to OP for handling that with a cool head because I would have lost my shit. Yeah.
I mean, that's something she can use in her divorce, to be honest.
True. Yeah. Use it as ammo.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately. But he did that to himself.
Yep. He shot himself in the foot.
He locked his baby in the car.
Yep. Same thing.
Same thing.
Shall we move on?
We shall move on.
To one more?
You have a short one?
I might have a short one. Let me see here what fits the crossing the line theme here. So this one is, am I the asshole for ending an 8-year friendship after my cameras recorded her in my home when I was out of town?
Oof.
This was posted February 2nd of this year.
Ooh, a fresh one.
Very fresh.
What do we say right out the gate? I mean, you read this, but just on the title.
On the title, 8-year friendship, and they can't just ask if they can come in your home? Like,
yeah.
That's...
Like ask, or like you mean like they can't just go in your home?
No. I mean, like, they should ask before entering your home when you're not there.
Absolutely.
Like, at any length of friendship, you should do that.
Yeah, I mean, unless you are
made an agreement.
Yeah, you're such good friends. Like, it's been, like, they have your keys, and you're like, I just go over whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
While you're there, water my plants, like, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Of course.
Backstory.
My friend and I met when I was her hairstylist. Oh. Then we realized that we only lived about 6 blocks apart. Due in part to the proximity, we became very close, and she would stop by 3 or more times a week. We enjoyed a lot of the same crafts, and we had a mutual love of plants, so we often worked together in my yard or hung out by my fire pit. She had a lot of constant personal relationship crises, which I always pointed out that she brought on herself, and it became more and more exhausting to spend time with her. Consequently, I slowly tried to limit our time together, although I did care about her and knew she didn't have many other friends. Okay, so I went out of town to visit my daughter at college, but before I left, I installed the new security system that I had received. It didn't really occur to me to mention it to anyone, which I think is a good idea. If you get a new security system, don't mention it to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, you think that you can mention it to your best friends and that's okay. But,
yeah.
But this seems like she didn't think that she was her best friend. She just thought of her as a friend.
Mm.
But in the title, it said
8-year friendship.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
When I was with my daughter, I told her about it, and we got on her phone so I could teach her how to watch the cameras at home also. We have 2 cats, and she wanted to be able to see them and interact with them. I was showing her how to see the clips from the motion detected earlier in the day. It was nighttime, so the house was dark, in which case the camera lights are on for detection. In a clip from 2 hours earlier, I noticed my friend walking through my house with the flashlight of her phone. She was inspecting every drawer, cupboard, and nook and cranny. My daughter and I were in shock. I texted her immediately. I asked her if she was at my house today, and she replied that she had been in the backyard picking up sticks, apparently for a fire pit she intended to have at her home that evening.
What?
Again, I asked her if she had been in the house. She responded that she had to go into my garage to look for a container. I then told her I had security cameras now. She laughed and asked why I was asking her if she was there because I had obviously seen her already in the backyard. She had no clue that I had also installed them in the house. So I sent her a screenshot and asked her if she knew who that person might be in my house with the flashlight. She waited a few minutes to respond and then said, "Oh yeah, your cat got out." I asked her how my cat would get out if nobody was in the house, and she responded, "I'm so sorry. I forgot that I was looking in your house for some gel pens because I needed to do artwork." I reminded her that she had just bought 100 of them the previous week. At this point, I was really getting pissed. I told her that I was freaked out that I saw her sneaking around my house with the flashlight and that it made me uncomfortable. She just kept laughing it off, and then when she realized I was really upset, she changed her tune to one of remorse and said she just needed to find something to do because she was upset with her boyfriend. I told her that I didn't think I could spend time with her anymore because I had spent years trying to teach her about boundaries, and our friendship was beginning to exhaust me. So I was telling the story to the guy that rents my basement, and he said that she is at my house every time I'm out of town.
What?
He was used to seeing her around, so he thought maybe I had asked her to do something there. 2 weeks later, she texted and needed relationship advice, and acted like since we were so close, it should not be a big deal. I told her what my basement renter said. I was super pissed at this point. She became very offended and said it was nobody else's business and I should not have told anybody about it. I told her our friendship was definitely over and to not contact me again. I told her that I was removing myself from toxic people. Later, I was talking to one of my other friends, also a client, about it, and they kind of made me feel that I was not a very good friend because I needed to have a talk with her and forgive her. They said that people make mistakes and need to be forgiven, and she should get another chance. Since she was exhausting me anyway, I just can't bring myself to want to have anything to do with her. Am I the asshole?
No. I mean, she's old enough that she shouldn't have to deal with this BS. Like, her daughter's in college, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm assuming this friend is, like, at least close to her age. Like, maybe not necessarily her age, but at least an adult.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't fess up, like, when someone asks you, then that means you're hiding and you think it's wrong. Why do you think it's wrong?
I'm, like, always paranoid when I enter someone's, like, a new person's house or whatever that there are cameras everywhere.
Oh.
Like, I'm, like, on my best behavior. Yeah. Because I'm like, no, I'm being watched.
Yeah.
Like,
is that because of my house?
Oh, maybe. No, I had it. I had a roommate that had a dog camera that I guess it like spat out the treats or whatever.
Oh,
but it was like always on in the living room, and like that was where you entered the house into the living room, and it was just like, oh my god, I just do not like this feeling of being like seen.
Well, like first of all, they never had an agreement that she could go over there whenever. Mm-hmm. So I would have wanted her to like say, "Hey, I'm going over to your house," like. My boyfriend and I had an argument. I hope that's okay. Mm-hmm. At least.
Yeah. Yeah, give a heads up or something.
Yeah.
She said, the poster did say, P.S. She did not have a key. I did not always lock my back garage door. Lesson learned.
Oh, geez. I thought she would have had the key. Like,
yeah, I thought she had shared the key as well.
Yeah, no. And the friendship. Like, I feel like she doesn't...
That's like trespassing.
Yeah, and it's been 8 years. She hasn't learned to do better. Like, that's it.
And she's consistently doing this too. Mm-hmm. It's just the first time she's been caught that we know of.
Yeah. Why didn't the renter tell her?
Yeah, that's kind of bizarre to me as well.
Bizarre. Yeah.
Like, wouldn't he think, or she think that, like, they would be the one asked to do the household chores or whatever?
Yeah. Or like, oh yeah, while you were out, she came in and did something.
Yeah, she watered the plants or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe they don't talk or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
IDK.
The way she describes the basement renter as a basement renter like makes me think they don't have the closest relationship.
Yeah, and maybe a separate entrance and stuff, and so they don't run into each other a lot.
Maybe so.
But what's it called? Ooh, what was I going to say? I had something important. I don't know. It's gone.
Well, a commenter said, you know what a good friend doesn't do? A good friend doesn't sneak into your house without your permission to bum around every time you're out of town. Not the asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Sums it up.
Okay, so what if it was your sibling?
I would have a little more tolerance for that, I think. Mm-hmm. If it was a sibling, I would be like...
What the fuck are you doing in my house?
Yeah. I mean, I would lock the doors when I leave. Yeah. No offense, not to victim blame here, but you know, when you're leaving the proximity for a while, you gotta lock the doors.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. That's very weird. Yeah. I feel like... Yeah, easy answer. This one's easy. Mm-hmm. I don't really have much to say.
Well, there was another commenter that said, I took away my dad's key to our house after the cameras captured him walking in unannounced. It's your house and you should be able to control who comes and goes. Mm-hmm. I would change all the locks, though, immediately.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was before the comment about she didn't have a key.
Yeah. Another thing is, sorry, I just remembered. So, like, you know when she was like, were you at my house today? And she was like, yeah, in your... backyard, and then like she kept like slowly expanding the scope of her question, and then she would be like, oh yeah, also that, and then like send laughing emojis or be like haha. That's like she's hiding that she was there and she's gaslighting you, and she's like, why does it matter, haha. Like she knows she's wrong, and she's like trying to make you feel like you're not valid for how you feel. That's not a good friend.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Update. The reason I second-guessed myself is because of my own weak boundaries. I felt sorry for her and thought it probably wouldn't happen again. But that was before I found out that she had done it many times before. And my other friend that told me that I should forgive is just a super kind and loving person. I know I made the right decision, but of course, there is a sadness and loss of what I thought was an 8-year friendship. I appreciate all the comments, and I feel good about the decision I made. Yes, doors are locked and security in place.
Good.
All right.
It's hard. Wipe your hands of her.
Yeah, she's good to go.
I mean, that's such a hard decision. I commend her for doing that.
It is a hard decision.
To throw away a friendship.
Yeah, when you have that long of a history, I think it is. Mm-hmm. Like, even if you realize that your values are not aligned anymore or whatever, like, it's like, it's still just... Yeah. Yeah, so many memories attached to that.
People start kind of feeling like a family. Yeah. But I think it's the right thing. Like, I think it was a one-way street. Like their friendship. I don't think she was doing much for her.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay, well.
That'll wrap it up.
That'll wrap it right up. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yay. Okay, I'm out.
Pugly out.